Welcome to the Cool Creatures Podcast. My name is Wesley Mason, and I love animals. I hope you enjoy my podcast. Hello, my name is Wesley, and I am gonna make a podcast called Cool Creatures.
Hello, Wesley. How are you today?
Good.
Good. What types of things about cool creatures would you like to tell people?
I want to tell people about creatures in the Amazon. The Amazon rainforest is in South America, and it has the most biodiversity of any forest. Biodiversity means lots of plants and animals. Electric eels, their zap isn't strong enough to kill you.
Oh.
It would just make it so you can't move.
Oh, well, it probably still hurts though, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. What other cool creatures live in the Amazon?
A vampire bat mostly sucks blood from sheep and cows.
Sheep? Oh my. What other cool creatures do you know?
An anaconda has a grip so tight that if it was squeezing a teddy bear at its full grip, it would be enough to pop off the teddy bear's head.
Whoa. Is it a big snake?
Yeah, it's the biggest snake in the world, a green anaconda.
Whoa. Where do they live?
In the Amazon.
Oh, do any of them live near us?
No.
Oh, good. Because I don't like snakes. What are some other interesting animals that you know?
A jaguar can leap across your kitchen
Whoa.
in one leap.
Wow. Do you know how far they can leap?
I think they can leap 10 feet.
Whoa. That's farther than I can leap. Can you leap that far?
No.
No.
I can leap 1 foot.
Wow. That's pretty good. Where do jaguars live? They don't live near us, do they?
No, they live in the rainforest and other places.
Oh, okay. So what do they like to eat?
They like to eat anything in the rainforest, from chameleons all the way up to caimans.
Ooh, what's a caiman?
A caiman is a crocodile who lives in the rainforest.
Yeah.
And they're a predator of electric eels, and they're one of the biggest crocodiles in the world.
Oh my goodness. That is pretty cool. Is that one of your favorite animals, a jaguar?
Yeah.
Yeah. What are some of your other favorite animals?
I have maybe 5 favorites.
Oh, okay. What are the other ones?
Tiger.
I like tigers, yeah.
Maybe grizzly bear.
Ooh. Hey, tell people we got to see grizzly bears. Tell people about that.
We got to see 2 grizzly bears in Canada.
Yeah.
And black bears aren't one of my favorite creatures.
They're not, huh?
But we got to see 7 or 8 of them, and one of them had 2 cubs.
Yeah, that was pretty cool, huh? Where were the grizzly bears? Like, what were they doing when we saw them?
Walking.
Yeah. Well, tell the story about the first one that we saw.
The first one we saw when we were driving somewhere.
Yeah.
And Daddy had to stretch on the brakes.
Yeah.
And some stuff in the back went flying like my tablet.
Yeah, we were in the camper van, weren't we?
Mm-hmm.
There was nobody else around us. We got to see it all by ourselves, didn't we? That was pretty cool. What about the other grizzly bear we saw? What was kind of interesting about that one? Or about the time we saw it?
It was by the side of the road, and people got out, and the closest person to it was like 10 feet away.
Oh my goodness, that doesn't seem like a very good idea. Should people be doing that?
No.
No, what's a safe way to watch and see bears?
Inside your car.
Yeah.
So back to my favorite creatures.
Oh yeah, let's hear more about your favorite creatures.
And maybe maybe tardigrades.
Tardigrades? What's a tardigrade?
A tardigrade is a little microscopic creature that lives in water and outer space.
Whoa. And they still exist today?
Yeah.
Whoa. How big are they?
About as tiny as a germ.
As tiny as a germ. That's pretty tiny.
You can't see them.
Oh, my. Do you know what they like to eat?
I think they like to eat mold.
Mold? Ooh.
Mold in outer space, and I think little dead animals like
my.
sea monkeys in the ocean.
Whoa. Mold doesn't sound very tasty to me. What do you think?
No.
No.
And my next favorite animal is maybe the coral reef.
Coral reef? Wait, coral's an animal?
Yeah.
I don't think people know that. Not everybody knows that. Tell me more about that.
Coral has a little teeny animal called a coral polyp, and the rocky outside is their skeleton.
Oh, wow.
And during the night, coral polyps come out, and they light up the coral reef, and they eat little tiny microscopic things like amphipods,
Whoa.
which is wildcats. They have the amphisub.
Okay, yeah.
And I think they might like to eat little baby pufferfish.
Whoa.
Like when they're in the planktonic stage.
The platonic stage?
Uh-huh.
Wow.
And I'm gonna add one more animal.
Okay.
And it's maybe an orca, or also known as killer whale.
Ooh, killer whale. What do you like about those?
I like that there's a top animal of the sea. They can eat everything down from whale sharks.
Whoa, they can eat whale sharks?
Uh-huh.
Wow.
I think all the way down to little tiny plankton. The only thing they can't eat is coral.
Oh, my. So are killer whales, they must be whales then, right?
They're in the dolphin family.
Oh.
And I don't think they do this, but dolphins use sea sponges to scrape around for fish so they don't get rough sand in their nose.
Oh, my goodness. What else about killer whales do you know?
I know killer whales have their eyes on the black dot.
Really?
On each side, like the black egg shape.
Whoa. Where do they live in the ocean? Which parts of the world?
They live pretty much everywhere in the ocean.
Really? Would you like to try to see one someday?
Yeah.
Yeah. How do you think we would do that?
Maybe we could go back to Florida.
Florida?
And go on like a sea cruise.
Oh, I know you like Alaska. Do you think they live near Alaska? Or is it too cold for them?
Yeah, they live in Alaska.
Oh.
And they also live in Antarctica.
Ooh, Antarctica. Would you ever want to go to Antarctica?
Yeah, maybe when I'm like 20.
When you're 20?
Yeah.
Do any other animals live in Antarctica?
Polar bears, seals, walrus, elephant seals.
Whoa. Is there a kind of bird that lives there that doesn't really fly?
Penguin.
Yeah.
There's a type of vulture that lives there.
Really?
I forgot its name though.
Oh, interesting.
I also think in like the warmest part, which is like winter in Minnesota,
Yeah.
there might be a little bit of seagulls.
Seagulls. Oh, wow. Interesting. They probably flew a long way to get to Antarctica, huh?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And I said I think I'm not quite sure.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you some facts about creatures that live near the bottom of the ocean.
Ooh, I would love to hear
like
that.
goblin sharks and dragonfish.
Whoa, goblin sharks and dragonfish?
So goblin sharks can have their jaws like go out of their mouth like an inch to snatch up prey.
Whoa, what kind of prey do they like?
They like fish.
Oh, all kinds of fish?
Uh-huh. I think they might like dragonfish and anglerfish.
Oh, wow.
And I'm going to go back a little bit.
Okay.
So, elephant seals, I was talking about that like a minute ago.
Yeah, I remember that.
They eat sharks.
They eat sharks? Elephant seals eat sharks?
Yeah.
Whoa, how do they do that?
Well, their jaw is exactly like a polar bear jaw.
Whoa. They must have a strong bite then, huh?
Although there's a little difference, their jaw is more like a gorilla because they have a lump on their head.
Oh my, that's interesting. That's really cool to know.
And dragonfish can turn invisible.
Invisible? Like completely invisible or just kind of camouflage?
Invisible.
Oh.
It's real it's real invisibility.
Oh.
And I found that out in Wildcats.
Oh.
And the red light makes them able to turn invisible.
Oh.
And they can also communicate by lighting up.
Whoa, that sounds really cool. Where do they live in the ocean too? Do they live really deep down?
Like 6 miles deep.
Whoa, that's way far down. That's pretty cool. Do you think you'd ever want to go that deep in the ocean?
Only like 2 subs can go that deep.
Oh, yeah. I'd be a little nervous to go that deep.
Yeah, the sub that went the farthest deep down had no people in it.
Oh, it's just like a robotic thing?
Or in case
remote controlled.
It got smushed.
Yeah, that's probably a good thing there's no people in it.
Anglerfish are a lot like dragonfish.
Oh.
Although they are more in a blob than dragonfish.
Interesting.
And they can't light up their whole body, just the fishing part, which dragonfish also have.
What if we could do that? That would be kind of cool, huh?
Anglerfishes prey, so their prey can squirt like slime that confuses anglerfish.
Whoa.
So the anglerfish attack the slime instead of the shrimp.
Oh, interesting.
And the shrimp has no eyesight.
Really? How do they move around then?
They have antennae because they live really deep down.
So it's probably too dark to see anyway, huh?
And I don't think the slime is poisonous or deadly if you accidentally swallow some.
For people? Yeah, I don't think I'd want to eat slime anyway. That sounds kind of icky.
And this is going to be the last animal I'm talking about.
Okay.
I mean, 2 more.
Oh, okay.
So, I'm going to talk about sperm whales first.
Sperm whales,
They can dive more than halfway down into the deep sea.
Whoa. So how far do you know how far that is?
Probably like 6.5 miles.
Oh my goodness, that's a long ways.
But they can't make it to the bottom because they need to breathe air.
Yeah.
The deepest the sperm whale have ever gone was probably like 7 miles.
Whoa.
So probably like 30 feet away from the bottom.
Whoa. 7 miles, that's like from our house to like almost a Woodbury. That's pretty far.
They eat colossal squids, which I'm going to talk about next.
Okay, that's the last animal?
So, sperm whales are endangered.
What does endangered mean?
It means there's not a lot of them left.
Oh, okay. So we need to take care of them and make sure that they don't go extinct, right? Yeah.
So there's not a lot of them left.
Yeah.
Because they've been dying from ghost nets and stuff.
Ghost nets? What's a ghost net?
It's another way of saying a fishing net. Have you watched Finding Nemo? If you have, you know when all those fish get caught in the net.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that, or the white.
Oh.
And that's all about sperm whales. And I'm going to do some bee facts at the end.
Okay, we'll close it out with some bee facts. What do you want to tell us about bees?
Well, remember I was going to do the colossal squids.
Oh, I thought you just did. Okay.
So, colossal squids
Yeah.
are also endangered and newly discovered species.
Really? Where do they live? Pretty deep in the ocean too?
Yeah, about at the bottom.
Really? How big are they?
Maybe 100 feet long.
Whoa, my goodness, that's huge. Are they one of the biggest animals in the ocean?
Yeah, but the biggest animal is a blue whale.
Oh, okay.
So
the squid is not bigger than a blue whale, huh?
Yeah, I think a blue whale could win against a colossal squid.
Yeah.
Even though it eats plankton. So, colossal squids can snort ink.
Whoa.
Just like an octopus.
Oh, cool.
And the ink is poisonous.
It's poisonous, really? Does it kill other animals?
It makes their eyes sting and makes it so they don't have that good of eyesight anymore.
Yeah. I don't think I'd want to get squirted with colossal squid ink. Would you?
In Wildcats have even made the octo sing. But her ink was actually seaweed juice.
Oh, seaweed juice, huh? Well, that doesn't sound too tasty.
Well, it was the juice from seaweed.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Like the juice in carrots.
Oh, okay. Anything else about colossal squid before we close out with our bee facts?
Colossal squids have these long tentacles, which I think are their arms.
Oh.
And they have these hook things, like the end of a hammer. But they're much sharper.
Yeah.
And that's why sperm whales often have scratches. Because they... or bruises or cuts because they fight them.
Who do you think usually wins those fights?
It's usually the whale.
The whale does. It's bigger.
Yeah, the sperm whale usually wins.
Yeah.
And last fact about colossal squids.
Yeah.
Colossal squids have the biggest eye in the world.
Whoa.
As big as a basketball.
Oh my goodness. Oh, it's bigger than our heads. That's how big their eye is? Wow. That's pretty cool. Thanks for sharing that with us.
Now to the facts about bees, and then my podcast will be done.
Okay, sounds good.
So, bees are very endangered.
Oh my.
Like bumblebees.
Are they?
You hardly get to see them. They're endangered.
Why are they becoming endangered?
Because most of the flowers they drink are sick.
Oh.
Because they haven't been getting enough water from humans.
Oh my.
So, if you can, you should plant some plants, like any type of plant.
Like some flowers, maybe? Yeah. Maybe we should plant more flowers in our yard.
And this fact might be kind of weird or hard to follow.
Okay.
But humans should stop making honey. So
why is that?
Bees don't make pollen for us, so they make it so the world is has much more life.
Oh, bees are very important to the ecosystem, aren't they? Yeah.
And bees, their wings can go almost as fast as a hummingbird wing.
Whoa, that's pretty fast.
And I think their top speed is 10 miles an hour.
Wow, can you go that fast?
I probably can.
Yeah.
And there's gonna be 2 more facts.
Okay.
So bumblebees' eyesight isn't really good. That's why they have antennae.
Oh, they can kind of feel with those where they're going, huh? Interesting. Was there one last fact you said?
And this is the last fact.
Okay.
It's kind of complicated.
Okay.
And I'll let kids other kids just give messages to me also.
Okay.
So bumblebees have this special thing. I think it's called a pollen basket.
Oh.
Where they can put pollen in. It's their back leg.
Oh, really?
And it's really sticky, and they rub it onto other flowers.
Oh.
So pollen goes pollen to pollen.
Pollen to pollen? That's how they pollinate the flowers.
Pollen to flower
Yeah.
to flower to flower.
Oh. Bees are pretty important, and they work hard, don't they?
And I think the way that it goes through the flowers makes it so those flowers can plant seeds and those flowers plant seeds.
Yeah.
And it does the same with trees and humans and stuff. And even though a lot of people think bees are pretty scary, they're actually just making the world a better place.
They are. You're right. And bumblebees don't sting us, do they?
They do if, like, we're trying to, like, knock down their nest.
Oh.
But after a bee stings, it dies.
Oh, my.
But they can sting soft insects multiple times.
Really? Interesting. Huh. Well, thanks for sharing those facts. Is there anything else you want to say?
All different insects pollinate, like wasps, green bees, hornets, butterflies, and I'll be receiving messages also.
Okay, so if anybody has a question for Wesley, you can send us a message, and we'll answer it on the next podcast, right? All right, we have a listener question for the podcast. What's your name?
Donna.
And what's your question?
What do giraffes eat? Giraffes eat. They eat from trees in the African savanna, like acacia trees, and they have spongy bottom lips, so the thorns don't hurt their lips. Their tongue is as long as a 4-year-old's arm or small 5-year-old.
Well, thanks, Wesley, for this episode today.
Okay.
This was fun.
This is book number 1, by the way.
Episode number 1? All right. I can't wait for episode 2. Thanks, everybody, for listening to the first episode of Cool Creatures. Have a good day.
Bye. Thanks for listening to my podcast. Don't forget to subscribe.